Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete. It's all new and it's all for you.
This is the Independence Blue Cross Bull Session, a look deep inside the game from a former player's perspective. The Independence Blue Cross Bull Session is broadcasting live from Hard Rock, Philadelphia in downtown Center City and is brought to you in part by BCW SA, Hand and Stone Spa, The Capitol Grill, Independence Blue Cross, and Team Toyota. Now, here are your hosts, former Phillies slugger Greg the Bull Luzinski and Phillies PA announcer Dan Baker.
Welcome to the Independence Blue Cross Bull Session. Today we're at Chickies and Pete's flagship at 1526 Packer Avenue in South Philadelphia, around the corner from Citizens Bank Park. What a great day for Phillies baseball. They play Game 2 of the NLDS tonight after shutting out the Braves in the first game Saturday evening. If the Phillies could win today, they could clinch Wednesday night. My goodness, wouldn't that be great? And what a show we have lined up for you good folks on WBCB 1490 AM and 107.3 FM. Now, number one, today marks the triumphant return for the namesake of this radio show, the Bull. And of course, this is the Bull Session. Now, just to remind you, in case you forgot, the Bull is a four-time All-Star. Twice. Not once, but twice. He was the runner-up for National League MVP in 1975 and 1977. And on two other occasions, he finished in the top 10 in voting for NL MVP. That's quite a ball player that comes that close to an MVP in any league. And of course, you know, he played 11 years for the Phillies, 4 years for his hometown White Sox. Greg is from Chicago. In his career, 307 home runs. Not a lot of people have hit over 300 home runs in the big leagues. He also knocked in 1,128 runs. And, you know, for a slugger, he had a pretty good batting average, 276. Also, Greg had 4 100 RBI seasons and another 3 seasons with 95 runs batted in or more. He led the Phillies to postseason play 4 times. He led the White Sox to the postseason once. Of course, with Chicago, he hit several home runs on top of the left field roof at Old Comiskey Park. And only the giants of the game hit balls up there, like Jimmy Fox, Double X, the great Hall of Famer from the Philadelphia Athletics and Boston Red Sox, Hank Greenberg, just to name a couple. And on the right field roof, Babe Ruth hit one up there. And, of course, Dick Allen hit one to center field, out in center, one of the few to do it that way. Well, he's clearly one of the best sluggers in Phillies history from 1970 to 1980. And, of course, the achievement of which Greg is most proud is helping lead the Phillies to their first ever World Series championship. The Phillies have been in existence since 1883. We never won a World Series until 1980. And part of the reason we won it was the Bull. Number 19, left fielder Greg Luzinski.
Thank you, Dan. I guess some things don't change with you. You know, you still got that stadium voice going here. And hopefully the Phillies will win tonight. Tonight's a big game, real big game.
It is.
It's a momentum game.
And listen, we have two tremendous outfielders with us on today's program.
He was just a little faster.
Our special guest was the Phillies center fielder for 3 seasons, 2013, 2014, and 2015. The Phillies acquired him from Minnesota, and from the Phillies he went to Toronto and eventually Washington and the Los Angeles Angels. With the Phillies, our guest averaged 303 for his 3 years. Not too many people can say that they averaged better than 300 for an entire career with one team. But Ben can. In 2013, he hit 305. In 2014, he hit 306. And also, in 2014, today's special guest led the National League with 184 hits. That's quite an achievement. He went from the Phillies to Toronto, as we mentioned. And by the way, when we acquired him, to give you an idea about how highly regarded Ben was, we traded 2 of the best young pitchers in the Phillies organization, Trevor May and Vance Worley. Now, we have a special connection with this wonderful person. You're going to see when you hear him, folks, if you haven't already met Ben Revere, he is one of the nicest guys to ever play for the Phillies, besides being a terrific baseball player. And guess what? He married a local woman from West Deptford, New Jersey, Chelsea. And his wife, Chelsea, was taught by Kathy's and my son, Darren, at the West Deptford Middle School. So there, how's that connect? Ladies and gentlemen, number 2, Phillies center fielder, Ben Revere.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Dan. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
and, of
Ben.
course, you too, Bull.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Greg, tell us about having led the Phillies to their first ever World Series championship in 1980. What do you feel about the Phillies' chances this year?
Well, obviously, everybody's very excited. We're going to find a bit more tonight at 6 o'clock. I think the first game was managed really well. I think he uses. I know Suarez was a little heated when he left the game, but I think they had a plan, and he could say he didn't, but he did, and his plan worked. And our pitchers went out there and did the job they're supposed to do. For Atlanta, I think when you get home run hitters and guys that hit home runs, and you get 4 or 5 days off, it's a little tough. A little tougher to get back in the groove than guys that are contact guys that put the ball in play. And so hopefully they can stay that way. You look at tonight's matchup, Fried's like 8-1. He's pitched well against us, and our pitcher going out there is got a 2 ERA or something, where he's given up 1-1, 2-2. And we're going to have to score about 4 or 5 runs. If we score 4 or 5 runs, I think we win the game. And get them early. We got to score. There takes so much pressure off teams when you can score early. And been there, done that. Been in these situations where you got to win 3 out of 5 games, and to take the first one, is big. And now that one's behind you, the second one becomes big. Mm-hmm. And then you get to come home for 2 games, and hopefully you can put it away. But it's tough. The way they set these playoffs up, I don't understand. We're playing the best seed, and obviously Arizona was 2 seeds behind us, and they're playing the Dodgers. So, I just don't get the way they set this up. and they got. I think they got to make a change. To be honest, I think you got one of the two best teams right now going at each other. And Ben works for Atlanta. He works.
Don't hold that against him, folks.
He works in their minor league system. And I think he probably agrees. I mean, he's played in a few playoff games, and he knows where the pressure is. You got to score early. You score early, and it's a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Ben, before we ask you about this year's Phillies team and this year's Atlanta Braves team, could you reflect a little bit on your 3 years in Philadelphia and some of the highlights to you and what you liked, maybe what you didn't like?
I liked everything.
Well, please, what are some of your highlights that you recollect with fondness from your 3-year career with the Philadelphia Phillies?
I'd say, my best years, I think, in my big league career was definitely Philly. Growing up watching, Chase, Jimmy, Howard, and then becoming teammates with them. I mean, they taught me a lot about the game of baseball because I was still learning. I mean, I was in my mid-20s. Those vets, World Series champions, MVPs, All-Stars. I was just kind of picking their brain a little bit to help me become a big leaguer. And I think that really helped me to get 7 years out of it because it's tough to make up to the big leagues. Not even make it up, but even stay there. And I managed to get 7 years out of it, and I look back and of course thank the big man upstairs, but just all the hard work I put in. But playing here it really helped me out a lot, and just playing for the city. The fans were great. Sometimes I got booed. Happens. I wasn't playing well, but then when I did start hitting, they were behind my back. But they really, it was really enjoyable to come to this ballpark and put on that Phillies uniform every day.
It was great the other day. Ben came by with Dominic Brown, and I was really happy to see him. And I told him, it's really, really weird how all of a sudden Ben showed up. And I said, I was going through my phone, and I saw his number there. And I said, I was going to give you a call because I have talked to him in the past. When he was here, I know he's been on the show, but I've texted him some. And all of a sudden he showed up. And thank God he showed up because he changed his number on me.
I know. Sorry, my bad.
We're glad to have you. Listen, at first I thought we were getting Ben Revere, who was 13-9 for the 1993 Philadelphia National League champions.
But this turned out better.
Yes. Well, I don't like to choose one guy above another, but I'm so glad that Ben could join. It was me who misunderstood because the Luzinskis told my wife, Kathy, we've got a great guest. Yeah. And I thought she said Ben Revere. As a matter of fact, when I called our program director, Matt Miro, who's over there with Kathy and Jean Luzinski, Greg's wife, I first said, we have a shot at Ben Revere. And he said, Ben Revere? I said, no. Ben Revere was our center fielder. But I think it's going to be former pitcher Ben Revere, who was in town for, I think, the Wild Card Series or alumni. I saw him recently. And but anyway, when I said, can you send me over the information? And it was you, Ben. Yeah. So we're thrilled to have you. Now, Ben, you are with Atlanta now.
Yes, sir.
Could you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the Braves?
Yes, this is my first year coaching in affiliate. But I was coaching rookie, but I was coaching independent ball in Kentucky before I made my move up here to Jersey. For the Lexington Legends, and we made the move. I got 18-month-old son, so it's good for my wife, which is from West Deptford. You said before, she has families that help her watch over the kids, watch over our son before I go out and could do this, go out and find a job and coach baseball. First year coaching affiliate, coaching down rookie ball in Florida, and bunch of 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, it's just trying to teach him how to become a professional baseball player. And it was a lot of work, and it's just trying to develop him. It takes a little bit of time, but eventually we won the championship this year. So,
Congratulations.
Yeah, speaking of Atlanta, a good friend of mine, Greg Walker, works for Atlanta and does a lot of the hitting. And you know how you say the Philly way? I know from talking to Greg, and I go to his house every winter and stay for a week or so, and we tell stories, and we go out and hunt a little bit and tell some more stories. Have a drink now and then, but at any rate, there's no question that when you go to the Atlanta Braves and you get in their system, they got a specific way that they approach and want their hitters, to work on things. And like we would say, yeah, we're going to do it the Philly way. They say we're going to do it the Atlanta way. And I know Chipper Jones is part of that. But it's very sophisticated when you talk to those two guys about hitting.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how they do it, and you can maybe talk a little bit about the approaches you try to get these kids to take.
Yeah, usually, we had some of the hitting coaches down there. Mostly I was doing base running, outfield, but
you don't sneak over there and listen.
I kind of listen to everything, but it's I guess